Accountability, rare thing. Take advantage of it. I mean, it's not normal for Tad. Let's give him a hand. That was nice.
David Moore, Dallas Morning News. Before you give us your starting lineups on both sides of the ball, you had 5 players go to the Pro Bowl. We've talked to you a lot about CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons. Can you talk about the other 3 guys, Aubrey, Turpin, and Tyler?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, proud of all those guys. I think anytime you're recognized, by your peers and by the coaches and the fans, I mean, it speaks volumes. So just happy for all of them. And I think just like anything, it's a team game. But when you play at the level that they, all those guys did consistently, I think it's really cool to be recognized.
Tyler Smith, in particular, a guy who came in and was pressed into duty at left tackle his first year when you didn't expect, and what he's done at guard.
Yeah, definitely. Tyler, I mean, if you look at his path, I mean, that first year, I don't know if I've ever seen a rookie lineman, play both guard and tackle. We put a lot on his plate, and now he's been able to settle in at the guard position and is obviously, just really at the beginning of a great career. I mean, because I think he still has, tremendous upside, but God, I just love the way he plays, his physicality and especially in our division with these defensive tackles. So, who else you want to talk about?
Also Aubrey and Turpin.
Aubrey, yeah, Brandon. My goodness, I mean, Brandon and Cavante. I mean, just the impact that they've made on special teams, especially coming similar pass. Arriving in training camp the way they did. I mean, it's almost identical. The day that they got there and the impact that they've made on our football team. So, just Turp, the first time he really touched the ball, he's so electric. And, Brandon, I still remember standing behind him the first day when he was kicking. And it was clearly evident that the ball just comes off his foot differently. So, those guys have done a phenomenal job since they've been here.
I'm Mike Todd Archer with ESPN. As you've gone about the season, putting together game plans and things, what's troubled you the most about what you've not been able to do offensively? The big plays, red zone, turnovers.
Ball security. I mean, I think when you look at where we are in turnover ratio and you look at the giveaways, coaching staffs, in high school, college, in the NFL, you don't put together bad game plans. I mean, it's you have things that you want to run. The players have confidence in the plan. That process goes on through the week. I learned a long time ago. I could go back to. I mean, I can remember specifically in 2000 calling plays where you're in the quarterback meeting. That Monday is like, yeah, I really didn't feel really good about this, and it was an eye opener, to me as a play caller, because if the quarterback's not totally engaged in the play and sometimes it needs a little more cooking, as we like to say, then you got to hold off on it, even if it's the perfect call versus the perfect defense and things like that. But when you don't take care of the football, yes, you definitely go home with things on your call sheet that you wish you didn't. You wish you would have got to. So, the number one thing that when I look back, on a quick eval of our season offensively is we haven't taken care of the football well enough.
John Michaud with The Athletic. A couple days ago, Mike Zimmer talked about having some regrets about the blending, Dan Quinn's defense with his, and maybe if he had a chance to do it over, just trying to go with his defense to begin with. How do you feel about that, and do you have any regrets about that?
No, I mean, Mike and I have spoken, exclusively on that topic and among many others. So, and it's that's an ongoing conversation, that you have with your coordinators throughout the year. I'm aware, but I'm still a number of days away from getting in the postseason evaluation. So, but yes, Mike and I have spoken about that.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. Can you relate to that a little bit? Because when you came here, they were running a particular offense, and you allowed Kellen to do the terminology and that kind of thing. Can you relate a little bit to what Zim was going through?
Totally. Totally. I mean, that's really one of the first conversations that Mike and I had. When he came here, in the words we used was, hey, you have a clean canvas to run your system, because I went through this and, I told him about my experience of keeping the terminology and everything in order, and I did it for Dak, because of where he was in his career and felt that was the best platform to build off of here. And you know, if I had to do it again, I wouldn't have done that. So, so that was the case when Mike arrived here. So, you know, but I think it's a common sense and common approach. I mean, he's coached football, you know, forever and recognized what we did well in the past. So he did try to go in the blend because, you know, there's no absolutes in this league. And I just think, like anything, when things don't go well, you reflect. And but I do think it's important to reflect and take the emotion out of it. But I do think it just tells you the type of man he is and the type of coach he is. You know, he's able to admit, you know, and that's really how our evaluations go. I mean, we talk about on Monday. And I'm very open with the staff and players. You know, if there's a call that you wish you had back, you know, it's just, you know, I took the shot on the third one in Philadelphia, the double move that, you know, we threw over there to Jonathan Mingo and had the 4th and 1 call ready, and then, you know, didn't pull the trigger. So I mean, you go home and you think, damn, you know, I wish I would have gone through the 4th and 1, we would have won the game. So I mean, it was just but no, that's over exaggeration, but that's football, and that's what play callers go through. And I just think Mike was giving you an honest answer to your unbelievable questions that you're asking there.
Sucker.
Sadis of The Athletic. Mike, you've talked about you haven't been in this position very often of, you know, finality being something that you see in front of you, and, you know, you not in the postseason. Just how are you balancing this week of knowing that, you know, this is the final game and everything that comes with it?
I wouldn't say it's balancing. I'm running through it. You know, I think it's so important for me to be, you know, the same every day as a leader. I take a lot of pride in that. I think it does fit my emotional profile. So I just want to win the game and just holding everybody accountable to do the things we need to do to put ourselves in position. So that's really is my approach. But it's stating the obvious, you know, because of where we are in the season and because of our record, I am having a lot of conversations that you wouldn't have. So, and that's time consuming, and because I do have a busy schedule like everybody does. But yeah, we are definitely in a different realm right now. And so you got to plug through because that's my responsibility.
Garrett.
Garrett Podell, CBS Sports. Mike, for the players, how much can you take from finishing this last game of the regular season strong into next year? Is there carryover from that, or not really, since rosters changed?
Well, I think the last part of your question is key. Is it's, you know, it's the roster. You know, I think then because really the only time that I really felt I went through this experience was in 06. You know, we were 1 of 4, 4 and 8, and then finished strong, but we were the youngest team in the league. So, and that's something that we, you know, felt going into the off-season program and talked a lot about it, emphasized it, a lot of it, you know. But we definitely have some of the same characteristics, particularly if you just look at how much our young players have played this year. So it definitely will be part of that conversation, because you can't buy experience in this game. You definitely can't buy experience in this league. So there is a huge benefit for how much our young players have played.
Babe.
Babe Lothberg, 105.3 The Fan. Mike, so going out there, unless you know something that we don't know, which is always a possibility, you could be doing this for the last
Just dry humor? I'm just
You could be
I just
doing
didn't want
this.
to miss it, yeah.
You could be doing this for the last time. Will you have to fight the urge
Yeah.
walking out of that tunnel to take it all in?
Yeah, no, great point. I'll be honest with you. I go to the stadium much earlier, you know, at this time in my career than I used to. And, you know, I won a Super Bowl in that home locker room at AT&T. So I have a very strong emotional attachment that it hits me every time I walk in there, every time I walk out. So, yeah, you know, I'm definitely aware of it. And but, yeah, I know you got Zimmer up here. I am not. You're not getting me today. So, but no, I'm not thinking about it right now. But yeah, I'm definitely in tune with that.
Anybody? Todd?
Mike, with Turpin and the new kick return rule, has that kind of been exactly what you thought it would be, and how much more growth could there be in the future?
What is the latest number? 30? Have you looked at?
What his average is?
No, the percentage of kicks. It went from 20 to 30.
I think it's in the mid-30s.
Come on, where's your analytics at? I know you're analytics, right?
Clarence isn't here, so I don't know.
Oh yeah, Clarence would have it. Yeah. So definitely, yeah. I mean, I know we're north of 10% more, I mean, especially having turf, I'd be all for going up to 50%. But no, it's been great. I think it's been. I hope the fans like it. I think it's awesome. Anytime we play outdoors, I mean, it's a different mindset. We're best in the league, because of Cavante. But yeah, I love the new rule. I didn't like it when you just kicked. It was 20%. So I think we're definitely headed in the right direction.
How does his skill set fit with all that stuff?
Well, I mean, he has everything. I mean, he's probably one of the most fluent athletes that I've had the privilege of working with, and he has the speed and the way he can change gears, and it's just he's a special talent.
Sydney.
Coach, Staples, D210 Sports. What do you do whenever you get to the stadium as early? What's your pregame routine?
I just have a routine, that I go through with my call sheet, and it's something I've always done. I've done it the same way, very similar, since 2000. So, I save so much work. I get to a certain point before I get there because I like to be in it, going into the game, and then, then I feel like Don Corleone because, about about 100 minutes for the game, there's a lot of meetings that go on. So then I have that whole segment, that I go through. So I like to get there early, make sure that I'm totally set, and then as people start coming in to the stadium that I meet with, it just flows for me. So, but I always like to be engaged in the call sheet going into the game.
Do you have any superstitions?
No, I mean nothing that I live by. But I'm conscious of things. If I did something last week and it went very well, I'll do it again. So.
Nicole.
Nicole, just the Dallas Cowboys media. With this week being a big week for Cooper and Trey Lance, obviously with not necessarily knowing their future here in Dallas, can you just talk about that, the stake that they have, and just what are you looking to evaluate more from Rush, and what are you looking to evaluate from Lance?
I think the biggest thing when you look at the quarterback position here, when I'm putting together evaluation, I have the benefit of being with them every day, and I spend a tremendous amount of time with them. I make sure that I'm on top of what we do in quarterback school. Scott Tolzien does an incredible job staying on top of the fundamentals. Everything is calculated. So I would say they've all improved. So I think Cooper was standing there. He'd say he's playing the best ball of his career. I know Trey is definitely improving. It's been good to have Will back, because I've seen Will go through. We went through off season and had him in training camp and all that. Last year, now to see him come back, his time away and to see where he is. But yeah, so just because of my role and responsibilities, I'm fortunate to get in every day, all day, look at those guys.
David.
Well, I'm going to ask this, but do you talk like Don Corleone in those meetings before the game?
A Pittsburgh version, yeah. So.
Who do you intend to start at quarterback, and it is your intention to play more than one quarterback in this game?
I really don't want to talk on it. I mean, we're looking at this as a competitions between football operations. This is a prepared answer here, but so we're going to stay the course.
Josh.
Josh Solentino, Lone Star Live. Did Trayvon Diggs have his surgery yet, and just how is he doing?
Do not have a medical update on Trayvon yet. No, he hasn't had the surgery.
Real. Good. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.